Apartment's smelling really stinky right about now. My beloved is dehydrating onions. What is up, YouTube? NickRide421 here, and had a really rough run this morning. I ran my 10K race Saturday, and I ran it just a little differently than I normally run a race. In the past, I've taken my GPS watch, set it on heart rate mode, and been really careful to keep my heart rate below its maximum. I've enjoyed running my races that way, but I've often felt at the end of the race that I didn't quite give my all, and that I had a little bit more I could have given and maybe done a little bit better. And something that I've heard a lot, reading on the internet, watching videos and stuff like that, is people saying that if you're not sore for a couple of days after a race, then you didn't do it right. And I've never really been very sore after a race. Maybe it's just a little bit, but not really. So for this race, I did things differently. I set my Garmin watch to the 10K distance because I ran it virtually. It wasn't a live race, a virtual race. So I set my watch to the 10K distance, and then pretty well ignored it for the entire race. I looked at it when it would tell me I'd gone a mile, and that was it. I didn't look at the heart rate, didn't really look at my pace except for whenever it dinged a mile. But I ran by feel, and it felt really great. And I ran much faster than I expected to be able to run. And the day afterwards, Sunday, I was very sore. So I felt like I did that race right. And I've never really been, I don't feel like I am a slave, that I've ever been a slave to the watch. It is an incredible tool, and I love it, and I can't imagine that I would have made it this far in my running journey without having the watch, or without having the data to look back on. But I'm not one of those runners that, is always staring at his wrist while he's running. I've got, when I'm doing the training plan, it'll beep at me certain ways to tell me if I'm too fast or too slow, but I don't really ever have to look at it. And I like it, I love it. I can look at the data later, afterwards, and see what I did, how I did, and stuff like that. But I'm not the kind of guy that's just always, glued to his watch running down the road. But I was dreading this morning's run. The half marathon training plan I'm following called for 40 minutes in zone 2 this morning, and I thought yesterday we went for a few brief short walks, and I thought, I can barely walk. How am I supposed to run even at zone 2 in the morning? And I tell you what, it was hard. We got up, got dressed, and got out the door, and I got probably not even halfway down my block, and I thought, oh, this is rough. I can't do this. And I almost turned around, but I've heard and read many times to give it 10 minutes before you give up. And I did that. I'm glad I did, because we went to 10 minutes and those muscles loosened up quite a bit. And, I didn't feel great, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I got my run done. And afterwards, I went straight to the foam roller and really rolled my quads and my hamstrings, and especially, I get really tight in, my groin area, so rolled the groin area, and now I'm feeling really good. Wait, what was that noise? The mail came while I was filming. I'm excited. If I can open this thing without killing myself. I'm a big fan of Dr. Metzel's Iron Strength for Runners workout. I don't do it nearly as often as I should, because the original one is an absolute beast. It's crazy difficult, even the 30-minute one. But he came out with an updated version recently, and I had to get it. It includes a 20-minute version, a 30-minute version, and then he also wrote a book with explaining the exercises and stuff like that, and in the book includes a 10-minute version of his exercises. So really excited to give this a shot. Maybe when I'm not so sore. Alright, so there you go. It's my encouraging words for the day. Don't give up. Consistency is key. And, I knew, I want to say that there is a difference between being injured and being sore. And I've heard other people talk about this. The Heartland Running guys did a podcast about this subject a couple weeks ago. I'll put a link to their podcast in the description below. But there is a difference between being injured and just being sore. And you will, if you're paying attention, you will learn the difference between the two. So I knew today I was just sore, I wasn't hurt. And so I gave it that 10 minutes and, didn't have a great run, but I had a good run. So significantly slower than I normally do my zone 2 in, but still a good run. I'm going to sign off now. I hope y'all are well, and we'll see you next time. Bye.